What's the worst surprise someone has ever planned for you? My boyfriend had his friends fake kidnap me as part of a proposal plan, but they went too far and gave me genuine trauma instead of a romantic moment. My boyfriend had always been thoughtful with surprises, but this time something went horribly wrong. A week ago, he told me he had a camping trip planned with his friends, always going on these weekend trips, never inviting me along. He said he'd have no service and would see me Sunday. Maybe I should have been more suspicious. He messaged me at 5 a.m. saying they were hitting the road. Around 8 a.m., I went for my usual Friday run through our neighborhood. That's when I noticed an SUV that kept appearing on my route. I sent a message to my sister saying to stand by and shared my location. Something felt off about how this vehicle kept showing up. Right after sending that message, I looked up and the SUV was right beside me. Someone jumped out and grabbed me. It happened so fast, I dropped my phone on the pavement. The breaking point came when I realized this wasn't a random crime. I was pulled into the car, where I could see at least 2 masked guys in the back before they covered my eyes. I freaked out and resisted like crazy, screaming and kicking. All I could hear was these guys laughing while one held my arms behind me and the other held my legs down. I kept begging them to let me go, crying uncontrollably. I was so terrified I lost control of my bladder. The drive felt endless and I had no idea where they were taking me or what they planned to do. They pulled me out at some house where I was screaming for help until they dragged me inside. When they removed the mask from my head, I was on my knees in front of my boyfriend of 2 years. He was staring at me with a confused look before angrily asking his friends what was going on. As I started processing what I was seeing, I realized he was dressed nicely and there were romantic decorations around his entryway. I realized who he was and what was happening, then collapsed into sobs. I'd had a 5-minute panic attack in that car and now had another one sitting in his entryway. I was sweaty, wearing soiled yoga pants, flushed with terror, and genuinely traumatized. Turns out the original plan was for them to pop out in their kidnapping attire and hand me a letter explaining I was being summoned by my boyfriend for a romantic surprise. But his friends decided to shake me up a bit more and make it feel real. They succeeded. It felt completely real because it was real. I was actually kidnapped, terrorized, and traumatized by people I trusted. The aftermath was complicated. We had many difficult conversations about boundaries, consent, and how this surprise had crossed every possible line. He was genuinely horrified by what his friends had done and how far they'd taken his poorly planned idea. A couple months later, after therapy and healing, he proposed properly, just the two of us, with my full knowledge and consent. I said yes, but only after making it crystal clear that surprises involving deception, fear, or any loss of control were completely off the table forever. His friends are no longer in our lives. We're engaged now, but it took a lot of work to rebuild trust after the people closest to him traumatized me in the name of romance.